guys, it's Stephanie. It's Tuesday and it's May 4th. I just got back from my 10-mile bike ride that I do in my community. The outer streets pretty much go around the circle, and it's like a little track you have in your community. So I try to get in about 30 miles a week. As you know, I have Graves' disease, and you gotta stay in shape regardless of what's going on in your life. That's what the conversation will be. The topic we're gonna have today is suicide, as grim as it sounds. So I appreciate so much for you guys that subscribe to my channel, and if you're new visiting my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that top bell so you can get my weekly notifications on new uploads. So here we go. Anyway, today I did my 10-mile bike ride in my community. And it's incredibly windy out there. My God, those headwinds were strong, and at times I felt like quitting. Come back home and just take a nice hot bath, watch a movie, and go to bed early. But I'd rather be here with you guys and talk to you guys and tell you how I'm doing, and also try to give you guys some healthy tips on how we can live a very healthy, energetic, happy lives. So anyways, what I want to talk about is nutrition and staying healthy by staying active and exercising. It's important. It's more important for us. Why? Because for years and years and years, if you're a late onset transgender or transsexual person, that means that before you transitioned, your body actually lived on male hormones that was designed for your structure, your skeletal muscle, your type of rugged body that we had as the other gender. So things change a lot when we switch our hormones, and then we try to do what we did on our last body type that we had. And that can be difficult because our energy levels change with different hormones, and our distribution of fats, and also our bone density is different. So we have to make sure that we're taking plenty of vitamin D, vitamin C, and we're taking in the adequate protein. You don't want to take too much protein. You have to stay within a woman's range of protein. Why? Because you don't want to look muscular unless that's your goal. When I was transitioning, I used to always be told, wow, you're muscular, you must go to the gym. I did bodybuilding for many years, but I hadn't really gone to the gym that steady after my transition. I went back to the gym for maybe good 2-3 years, but as the opposite gender, it was 20 years as I did some small bodybuilding shows and all that. So anyways, to get back to the story, people would always comment on my physique, how I have big biceps and my shoulders are big and all that stuff. Even though I didn't work out, and because our bones from our last gender that we lived, the bones have much heavier and denser than cisgender women. So we would get commented a lot. Even if you never worked out in your whole life and then you transitioned, people will still say that you are built and rugged as a woman, not because they're trying to bring you down or sound negative, because what they're looking at, they're confusing your bone density that's visible with muscle in their minds. So they think you're a woman who is healthy and strong, but it's not like that. You're not as strong as you used to be, number one, because you changed over the hormones. So your hormone level, estrogen or estradiol, is down to a cisgender level. And your testosterone is gone completely, like 0.4. Like when it was like 100 and something or 400 and something. You're down at 0.4, which is nothing. Okay? I think a little bit of testosterone at 0.4 is a normal range for women. That 0.4 testosterone actually contributes to a sexual drive, as it does cisgender women. So, hope we got that straight. So this is why you still have to maintain a nice intake of your protein and carbohydrates, and not so much red meat, some chicken and turkey. I'm not a big red meat eater. I'm not a big red meat eater because I believe that it contributes to colon cancer. So I don't eat a lot of red meat. Maybe once or twice a month I'll eat red meat. I'll probably make some beef stew with some potatoes and veggies and carrots and kale and all that stuff. But I'm not a big red meat eater. I eat predominantly chicken, turkey. If I'm in a rush, I'll probably have a frozen diet meal. I know it's as bad as it sounds. So I try to consume maybe a cup of protein shake, maybe once a day or every other day. And before I buy it, I always check the label to see how much protein it has and calorie intake. For the past maybe 5 months, I have gained about, I would say, 10 pounds. So now I'm trying to take it off because I did fall off the wagon. And my appetite was off the charts. That's one thing that we tend to do once in a while. We still eat like our old gender. And that could be a no-no. Not that when we were men, we were big eaters. But whatever we ate as the old gender, we cannot eat that way as women now. Because you can see that you can put on weight quickly, being on estradiol. They're going to be distributed and deposited in your body, of course, in a woman fashion. You might have sagging arms here, like that, and you might take on a pear-shaped look. So I think to combat that is to check your ingredients when you cook. Look at your grocery list and ask yourself, should I be having this? I love ice cream. I'd rather go out for ice cream than buy my favorite ice cream and keep it in the fridge, because past experiences, it never worked out for me. I end up putting on 5 pounds because I can't control my ice cream intake. I can't have it at home. I'll go right through it in a couple of days. And I'm talking about a half a gallon. So what I do is I'll drive to my favorite place for ice cream, because it's 14 miles away, which is very convenient. That means I'm not going to drive every day to get it because it's too far. But when I am there, I'll probably have a small cup or a cone. And it's probably every few months, not every week and not every month. So that being said, these days what I do is I've been eating a lot of steamed vegetables. I've cut out a lot of the carbohydrates, the rice. And if I do eat potatoes, it's a very, very small portion. And it's because you have to have some carbs to pull you through the day. Whether you're bike riding or walking, jogging, or simply have enough energy when you go to work. Okay? So dieting is good. It's going to contribute to your energy level. A balanced diet, it's all good. So let's change our conversation here. This is a gloomy subject, and it's depression and suicide. I did have a friend who committed suicide about 8 years ago, and she came down here in Florida to start a new life. But when she left, her life with her family was in turmoil because they didn't accept her transgenderism when she came out, and her children didn't want to have nothing to do with her. She used to go to the support groups every month, and we would hear each other's story. And when I found out of her death, I was saddened because she was a good person. She had a great personality, and she was on her path to becoming the beautiful woman that she felt she was. What do we really solve by committing suicide? Okay, you may think that suicide will take away the pain, and but what are you leaving behind when you do that? You're leaving a lot of chaos. You're leaving a lot of chaos because having family that don't accept you or has shunned you is not permanent. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. After I came out and after I started wearing women's clothing, my mother and my father didn't speak to me for 7 years. And not once did I feel suicidal. Maybe I did feel some depression, and I was tremendously lonely because I was new in Florida. I didn't have a lot of friends. I still don't have a lot of friends, okay? I have a few good friends, and I make new friends. Once in a while, I'll meet a new friend, and that's a good thing. But let's go back to this talk of suicide. When you commit suicide, you're hurting a lot of people. And the other thing you're doing is you're not giving yourself a chance that you deserve. Okay? Suicide is more prominent among teenagers and young teenager transgenders. Okay? It's high. It's said to be about 35 to 40%. That's incredibly high. It's already high among teenagers, cisgender teenagers. So, and within those teenagers, you have any gay or trans or bi that are teenagers that suicide is very high. All I can say is they feel a lot of pain, and they're not trying to hurt people. They just don't feel like they belong. They feel neglected. They feel isolated. And the depression sinks in. A lot of them do go to counseling, but they can't get around the fact that their family and their friends' views are different from theirs, and they feel like they don't belong. They just want to be part of, and they don't feel like they're part of. It could be combined with their work environment situation. My friend that committed suicide, she wasn't allowed to represent herself as her true self on her job. That, coupled with her family and her children that didn't want to have nothing to do with her, drove her to suicidal thoughts and eventually suicide. So, do you think that her family is over her? I don't think so. From last I heard, her children were devastated. And the pain never really goes away. I know that when I hit rock bottom, I felt tremendously isolated. I felt tremendously lonely. And sometimes with trans people, we just have so much on our plate. We might have plans in our mind to transition, and we look at everything together like in a big ball. Like, for example, the costs of transitioning, transgender therapist costs, hormonal costs, cost of living, rent, groceries, if you have car payments. And a lot of us in the beginning, we had child support to pay. Okay. And don't forget, when you transition and you're on your way to womanhood, we feel like some of our rights, if not a lot of it, have been stripped away. And by that I mean our ability to find work, okay, to hold down a steady job, okay, tolerating negative behavior at work towards us while we're juggling a family life or trying to connect with our families. I think the advice I can give anybody who's contemplating suicide or is fighting depression is this. You started your transition to be who you are because you want to be happy. Because nothing else in your life is happier and healthier than a sound mind and a body that matches it. There's nothing better than that. Look at cisgender people. They go through suicide and depression. Celebrities are committing suicide every single year. Look at Robin Williams. He's not the only one. So suicide is not an exclusive thing just to us, but more of us, and percentage-wise, are experiencing depression and suicide thoughts a lot. Last year, a lot of us committed suicide, especially the young transgender people. It's unprecedented. So we need to be there for one another, to talk to and listen to, and keep the hope alive that today you may be going through a tough time, but tomorrow things could change. Okay? Let's always believe that tomorrow is going to be different and next week's going to be different. And with every passing day, our situation is going to change. Okay? We now have transgender activists in the political arena. We have transgender cops and transgender doctors, transgender teachers. I see things changing for the better. I see us one day becoming like everybody else. Okay? We have more rights than we did 10 years ago. Okay? And we're making a lot of headway in the media. We're visible. We're more visible. Okay? I think new transgender people or transsexual people, in the beginning, they try to live a stealth life, and I've tried doing it. But remember, we're not always going to be 100% stealth. And is it okay to be stealth when you can make yourself visible to bring somebody up, or be there for somebody else and say, hey, look, we're all the same. We're in this together. Okay, I believe that we are. Anyways, that's my take on depression and suicide. And also, I think those behaviors and the reasons that we get into that mindset is because what we're going through, but it's because of how our friends have now started viewing us when we're coming out, and the unsupport that we have from our families. That'll all change. Like I said, it took 7 years for my parents to talk to me, and then when they did, it wasn't really perfect. They made mistakes along the way. And along the way, I said things to them I didn't mean, because out of frustration and anger and all that stuff. Will everybody respect you? No. But before you transition, did you always get respect? Probably not. Did you always get along with your family before you transition? Probably not. You will always have some issues. I can guarantee you they're not always going to be transgender issues. Because once you're accepted by your family, by 100% of your family, you have other issues that's not transgender related. So you're loved, your friends still care about you, and if you're struggling with suicide thoughts or depression, reach out to someone, okay? Reach out to me. Send me a letter, an email, okay? Or a message on my videos, and I will get back to you and we can discuss these things. I'm not perfect. I had my bouts of depression, okay? My family didn't accept me in the beginning, okay? It's said that every year 100,000 people are coming out as transgender alone, between teenagers and late onset transsexualism. So tomorrow will be a better day. I can guarantee it. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up. And if you're my subscriber, I want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And if you're here watching it for the first time, hit that subscribe button and hit that top bell so you can get notification. Okay? Every one of us knows someone who's coming out or who has come out that needs a nice conversation of inspiration. Okay? A word of encouragement. All right? I love you guys, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll be talking to you guys shortly. Bye.